Hello, welcome to Family Tennis SP, a game that is two things which I used to think were mutually exclusive. This is a game about recreating the childhood innocence of playing sports with your family and extended family. But it's also a game about utterly crushing your family into the dust and proving your dominance over them. Their inferior little selves. There is a level of ruthlessness on display here that would make even Kenny from the B-movie shudder. As far as the presentation goes, I think the game is cute, nice, and self-aware. The over-the-top anime aesthetic and special moves and ridiculousness of the music, it all fits really well with this super glorified version of family sports. It includes caricatures that many families would sympathize with and relate to, such as the gentle but overdetermined mother character, the younger sister, the very generic brother, the really cool cousin who comes to visit sometimes, and Grandpa. As far as the game mechanics are concerned, there is an attempt. The basic game mechanics are fairly simple. There are 4 kinds of shots. I won't get into them because as far as the AI is concerned, they're fairly useless. There are also 3 separate kinds of serves, which are less useless, given that one of them shoots the ball straight across the arena, and sometimes the AI can't keep up. But they're only slightly less useless. The reason these basic tennis mechanics are so useless is because they don't serve their intended function, because the AI comes in 2 forms. Those forms are exploitable and ridiculous. The exploitable AI form is the game's attempt at challenge, where the AI will needlessly volley back and forth and refuse to make any meaningful mistakes until you use your special move, at which point they utterly fail to counter it. So you can just volley back and forth with the exploitable AI. Eventually your special meter will fill up, and they'll refuse to counter the special, or they will counter the special, but that leaves them open to a punishing move, where you can still score a point rather easily. The exploitable version of AI also utterly refuses to use their own special meter, no matter how full it gets, which adds to the AI being, well, exploitable, hence the name. Now you may figure turning up the difficulty would make the AI smarter and make the game more balanced and fun. But the thing about the special attacks each character has is that they require thorough memorization. Each character's special ends in a very specific fashion, and unless you memorize every single character's special, where it ends and how to counter it, then you have no hope against the more ridiculous, stronger AI. Not to mention the stronger AI, I'm pretty sure, just flat out psychically reads your button presses. So while playing the game you have choices. You have exploitable AI that you can actually win a game against, or you have ridiculous AI that is impassable and uses their special moves all the time, and you have to memorize every special move thoroughly to even stand a chance. Now there is one secondary mechanic that isn't actually so bad, that I think is actually kind of a good idea. If you fail to hit a ball straight on and have to make a dive for it, you send the ball careening toward the opponent in a really telegraphed fashion, and then the opponent player is capable of punishing this horrible play by spiking the tennis ball into the ground, basically ensuring they get a free hit in. This actually adds a slight element of strategy to the game, where you have to try and stand still before returning a shot, otherwise your character is liable to dive toward the ball, and they'll end up getting the ball spiked on their side of the court, such as this. It's actually not a bad idea to punish the player for hitting a shot poorly, but only the vulnerable and exploitable AI ever hits shots poorly. The super ridiculous AI that uses its special attacks and knows what it's doing never hits a shot poorly. Needless to say, based on this footage, I played most of the game with the exploitable AI, which offered almost no challenge, but it was much better than trying to bash my head against the wall playing against the ridiculous higher difficulty AI. The game also offers a few minigames after you beat the fairly basic tournament mode, which only consists of 4 matches. The minigames are things that you might be familiar with from other tennis games, like the human backboard, or survival mode where you defeat as many enemies in a row as possible. The survival mode, however, uses the exploitable version of the AI, meaning I got 14 wins in a row with no problem, and refused to give up. So I was there for a while. I can't say I didn't get a fair amount of play value out of the game. I don't regret the game or any such thing, but it is very poorly balanced in case that's not clear, and the multiplayer would quickly frustrate your family unless you made a promise not to use any special moves. There are a lot of things that could fix the game, such as a more sensible AI that's more fallible, and the special moves not requiring memorization but instead skill to overcome. But as it is, I guess it's inoffensive if bland and unbalanced. It's a shame, because I really like the presentation and the cute idea of bringing nostalgic family sports to a console like the Wii U, but there's really nothing special about the game outside of the presentation and cute idea.